Hi class, I'm just going to go over how you do the validation for data entry for text. And we know that we as programmers call text strings. So let's have a look what I've got here. I'll just go over it with you. I've got here that the first comment saying that we're testing invalid null text data entry. Now null is another word for when nothing's been entered, and by nothing we mean, say you hit the enter key when you were supposed to write your name. Hitting the enter key puts in just an empty character, just a string, a character that looks just like this. If you look down at the bottom of the screen there, you'll see it looks like. This is what the computer thinks you've done when you just hit enter when you're supposed to hit in text. And I'll just get rid of that. So here I'm saying, ask the user, enter your name to test this out, just this time pressed enter. So I'm telling the user here to just press enter rather than your name. Okay, so we see that. Maybe I can make that a bit bigger. Not sure if I can do that right now, but let's see if that works there. How about that? Okay, so now we've got it. Just this time, instead of entering your name, just hit enter. So it's because we're testing out that the user's going to do dumb things. So here I say, here's the read that's going to listen for the user entering something into the keyboard, and then it's going to store it in that variable which we've called name. So first of all then, I go in and I say, if what's been stored in name, when we picked up name there, is equal to absolutely nothing in it, then go to the area of the program that is labeled invalid input. So it will do those bits there if the name variable is stored with nothing in it. Otherwise, write out your name is whatever your name is. Then I've got the program ending here. This has nothing to do with the validation, but it's just some interesting way to look at how the program can end nicely. So it's going to read the name in, check that the name is a sensible entry, that it's not just somebody hasn't just put enter, that it's checking to make sure that someone's put their name in. If someone's put their name in, it drops down past that highlighted area and prints it out, and then it's going to keep dropping down. So it'll drop down to the next line which says, whoa, wait 3 seconds, and then nicely end. Program.end just finishes, and then the program will end. Sorry, I don't need that end of there. Let's take that out. That's from another part of a program. So that there will have that finishing nicely. Now, if the name had nothing entered, if somebody had just put the enter key in up here at this point, then this would have tested true. So it would have gone from here. It would have looked for an area of the program that's called invalid input, which is down here. I've just created that. Everybody should have this part in a program if you're going to be testing for invalid input. So here is my comment, and here I put a little label, and I've called this is where anything in the program that's about invalid input will happen. So that's like a little label. It's like a heading. And then I've said text right line, text window right line, you entered invalid input, so the program will end in 2 seconds. So let's look here, the program.delay, now this is in milliseconds. So 2000 milliseconds is the same thing as 2 seconds, and then it ends. So shall we run this? I'll just bring it down here so you can see it into your name. Okay, I'm going to say Liz. And when I enter this, I want you to see that it will display back to me what I entered, and it'll wait for 2 seconds and then disappear. You watch this. Your name is Liz. Then it's gone. Okay, so let's run it again, but this time I'm going to just put in an enter rather than my name Liz. So here it goes. Whoa, you entered invalid input, so the program will end in 2 seconds. You have to be quick to watch that. Shall we just do that again? Okay, so I'm going to enter nothing. I'm just hitting the enter key. You can't see that, but all I'm hitting is the enter key. And we're done. Okay, so now you know how to handle invalid input. To summarize what I've done here is in this part of the program here, this bit here is all about testing for invalid input. And then if it finds it, it drops down to the part of the program that tells it what to do if it finds invalid input. We actually could have done this program with this text here that's highlighted now, and we could have tucked it into there. But we'd have had to tuck it in there everywhere that we were testing for invalid input. This way, all I need to do is have these 4 lines of code here and this 1 line of code that calls it, and I will save a whole lot of code. It's just doing it elegantly. All right, what you need to do is then look at the one at the YouTube clip I've got on validating number, and then you'll see how to do both. This is text, and then you need to look at the other one that's called number_null-validation. Good luck.